Good morning and welcome to the Oasis Center for Spiritual Living, where we come together as one, providing spiritual tools for daily living. For those of you who don't know me, I'm Reverend Tucker. I'm the senior minister here at the Oasis, and you hear my bird in the background because he wants to be involved. So I might bring him on camera in a little bit, but let's see if he likes it once I get him on camera. Right now he's just blah, 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 blah. Today, we're going to continue from last week on The Force is Strong with You. Last week, I focused more on our thought patterns about money. And then today, I want to talk a little bit more about self-love and love in particular, and wellness. So that's where we're headed today. But in the meantime, I have this wonderful team that God has provided me that I always like to introduce because I can't do this without them. First off is my faithful assistant, Faith. I love saying faithful. That just cracks me up. Maybe I'm the only one laughing about it, but I think it's funny. Anyway. Faith has been my assistant since she was born. She used to come on the podium with me and do announcements. And then later on, she and her sister used to do affirmation cards at the end of the service. We would hand those out. And so she kind of was like an usher. But the last 5 years, she's been my official assistant. And so, in the background, she's the one that's talking to you when you say hi, hello, good morning. I always look at the comments later to see if there's something I need to add. But, she's grown up pretty much in my house. She's been 6 blocks away, and her dad would drop her off when he would do he was a tow truck driver, and he would do tows out of town, and he'd drop them off at my house. So she's pretty much grown up with me, and so she knows me better than I know myself most of the time. So she's also our singer, our soloist, and today we're going to be doing Be Gentle with Yourself by Karen Drucker, right?
Yes,
do you know what CD it's on?
It is from Songs of Spirit 3.
Songs of Spirit 3. It's a really nice song. I just adore that song. So anyway, thank you, Faith. We love you. And then there's my partner in crime, the wise and powerful Oz, who has been with me since 1998, basically, with a few years lost in the last couple of years where he was in Florida. And so we couldn't have him at our facility. But now that I have the software, he gets to join us again. Right now he's in Wisconsin. So.
And it's my mom's 92nd birthday. She's back there. Let's see, over my shoulder.
Can we sing happy birthday to Bernice? I think that'd be good. Let's do that. Yeah. Ready? 1, 2, 3. Happy birthday.
Happy birthday to you.
Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, dear mommy. Happy birthday to you. Many more. 92. You want to make it to 102, Bernice?
That sounds good.
Sounds good? Okay. Let's work on that. Happy birthday, darling. Oh, goodness. That is Oz's mom. All right, buddy, enough. We were singing happy birthday, so now he really feels like he has to do input. Buddy. I know it sounds like a chihuahua. Yes, I have a chihuahua. No, that's not her. That is the bird.
That's the bird, not the chihuahua.
So he was raised with a chihuahua, so he learned to bark with a chihuahua. So there you go. All right. So anyway, Oz was my first baby practitioner. Buddy. Maybe I need to bring him out right now. Anyway, Oz was my first baby practitioner, and that's because he took all of his training with me except for one class. I'll be right back.
Buddy wants to be on camera.
You win. I don't know why you win, but you win.
After all of these years, Buddy will finally make his camera debut.
I know, after 7 years, right? This is Buddy. This is the one that causes all the trouble when we're doing church.
He's a giant white cockatoo.
Yeah, he's about 10 years old now. And we got him when he was 4, so he's about 11, I guess. And we've had him 7 years. So anyway, So Oz took all of his training with us. He was our first baby practitioner, and he was our board president for many, many years before he left to move to Florida. Like I said, he's now in Wisconsin, and he is doing our pray-ins and pray-outs, and he's available at the end for our 1-minute miracle, which I'll talk about later in more detail. Right? Is that enough? Can you say hi to the people? Can you say hello? You're going to be shy now? Of course he is. Thank you, Oz. We love you. Thank you for being here. We couldn't do this without you. All right. Oh, my goodness. If you would like to do a watch party, there's a watch party button. It's a great way for people to know, your friends to know what kind of services we have on Sunday morning. And it's a great way for you to talk to each other because you can't bother anybody. So press that watch party button and by all means, invite all of your friends. If you're here, please say hi, hello, good morning. I see Cindy and Joey have checked in. Thank you so much for doing that. When we're in a facility, I can see who's here, but these days, since I'm using this software, I don't have that ability. He's looking right at the camera. Do you understand that you're on TV? Well, not on TV, but on Facebook Live? Huh? You want to say hi to the folks? No, you're not going to say hi. You just want to crawl around. Anyway, I invite you to close your eyes if that feels comfortable. Allow the service to uplift and inspire you as we move into our centering song. And Buddy goes back to his cage.
Surely the presence of God is in this place. I can feel the mighty power and the grace. I can feel the rush of angels' wings. I see glory on each face. Surely the presence of God is in this place. Surely the presence of God is in this place. I can feel the mighty power and the grace. I can feel the rush of angels' wings. I see glory on each face. Surely the presence of God is in this place.
The presence of God right here, right now. For God is everywhere and everything in all time and space. It is all time and space, all potentials, all possibilities, all wrapped up in that one great being that we speak of as God. I know that God is present right now wherever you are, whenever you are. For God is all there is. And I know that the force that works through our lives to create us, to breathe us, to live us as beings in this environment is the same force that we use every day to create the lives that we enjoy and to move forward into all new possibilities. I'll join you there. And right now I give thanks that it's so. And so it is.
And so it is. Thank you, Oz. By the way, I love the Hawaiian shirt. I always love anything with palm trees, and it looks like it has flamingos on it, maybe.
I think they're bird of paradise. But
Bird of paradise. Oh, cool.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The leaves
Let's-
don't match.
Yeah. Anyway, thank you, Oz. All right. This next song is one that, Oh, I forgot to introduce our adjunct music team because Buddy was screaming and I was very distracted by it. We have two wonderful artists that have donated their music to us to use on Sunday mornings. And so I always like to announce them. They don't appear on camera, but we couldn't do this without them. So I always like to acknowledge them. One is Reverend Fairy Lane Silver and the other is Karen Drucker. So this next song, We Are All One, she wrote when she was in practitioner training because it is the bedrock of our philosophy, which is that we are all connected by it, through it, as it. So this next song, if you don't know it, you know, get it stuck in your head. And if you do know it, sing it loud and sing it proud because you can't bother anybody, right?
We are all one. We are all one. We are all one in it. I hear it and know it, my being. Spirit is all I am seeing. For God is all there is. Grateful am I to be living, open to what I have seen, honoring what I've been given, sharing now what I believe. I remember the oneness around me. I surrender to infinite light, knowing the love that's surrounding me is within me by day and night. And we are all one. We are all one. We are all one in it. Yes, we are all one. We are all one. We are all one in it.
All right. If you're here, please say hi, hello, good morning, however you like to greet us. When we're in a facility, I can look out and see your beautiful faces. Here, I don't have that luxury, so I like to know who's here. If you stop by later, please say hi, just to let us know that you stopped in. We really appreciate it. Without further ado, let me please introduce, let's see, Faith singing Be Gentle with Yourself by Karen Drucker.
Yeah. Sorry, the music disappeared. And it's back. I will be gentle with myself. I will be gentle with myself. And I will hold myself like a newborn baby child. I will be gentle with myself. I will be gentle with myself. And I will hold myself like a newborn baby child. Gentle with myself. I will be gentle with myself. And I will hold myself like a newborn baby child. I will be tender with my heart. I will be tender with my heart. And I will hold my heart like a newborn baby child. I will be tender with my heart. I will be tender with my heart. And I will hold myself like a newborn baby child. I will go as fast as the slowest part of me feels safe to go. on myself. I will be easy on myself. And I will hold myself like a new baby child. I will be easy on myself. I will be easy on myself. And I will hold myself like a new baby child. And I will only go as fast as the slowest part of me feels safe to go. Only go as fast as the slowest part of me feels safe to go. Gentle with myself. I am gentle with myself. And I hold myself like a new baby child. Gentle with myself. I will be gentle with myself. And I hold myself like a new baby child. And I rock myself like a new baby child. And I hold myself like a new baby child. And I love myself like a new baby child.
Thank you, Faith. I just love that song because really we forget to do that. We forget to nurture ourselves. So thank you. All right. So last week I talked about the force is strong with you, and I'm just going to do a quick recap for those who may be tuning in later that weren't here last week. Ernest Holmes, our founder, Dr. Ernest Holmes, said there's a power for good in the universe and we can use it. It's not that we can use it, but we do use it. But we can use it consciously. And I think that's really the gist of all of this, is that we need to learn to consciously create the world that we want to see. Because right now we're unconsciously creating it through our subjective mind. I've talked a little bit about that in the past, where our subjective mind, our subconscious, is like a computer that stores everything that's ever happened to us and our reaction to it. And we begin to create from those reactions instead of creating consciously what we would like to see in the world. And because this power flows through all of life is creative. And it's not that some people have more access to God. It's not that we need an intermediary to speak to God. It flows through us. So it's ever present, ever conscious. I have to laugh at sometimes when we talk about the Garden of Eden story, where they were hiding from God. Imagine that, if God flows through us, there is no hiding from God. You can't get away from it, which is scary for some people. But for me, it's very comforting because I know that God can never leave me. Back in the 1970s, George Lucas created Star Wars, and it was a really powerful first example for a lot of people of there being a force that was within us, right? I don't think a lot of people think about those things always. In religious science, we've been saying that for years, for centuries, actually. Or, well, not centuries. Yeah, decades. Dr. Ernest Holmes founded this in really 1927. Is when he wrote the first Science of Mind textbook, and was traveling around lecturing about all of this. And he was talking at that time about there being a power for good that flows through us. And George Lucas, I don't know what his bent was as far as religion or spirituality or philosophy, but he was the first one to present to the general public the idea that there was a force running through us. And one of his movies, I don't remember which one, Obi-Wan is teaching Luke to feel the force. He's got this like helmet on that makes him not be able to see. And there's this little satellite thing, a ball that is, zooming around him. And he is supposed to hit it with his, whatever they called that, his power sword. I don't know. I forgot. Lightsaber. That's right. Lightsaber. And so he was having to feel the presence of it intuitively and strike at it, but with great power comes great responsibility. And I think that's one of the reasons why the Jedi were taught the way they were taught. Obviously, the catchphrase that I'm using that is comes from the Star Wars is the Force is strong with you. So they would find these kids that the Force seemed to be strong with, as they judged it, and they would teach them how to fight. And then they would be in servitude to the government, as it is, to make the world a better place using their specific gifts that they had been taught. And so we know that with great power comes great responsibility in our own lives. Like, one of the things is words are very powerful. Our words, our thoughts, our feelings, our emotions, all of that is very creative. Every thought we have is not creative, thankfully, because we have something like 400 thoughts a minute. Just think about that for a minute. If every thought we had would create, be like, I want this. No, I don't. Poof, poof, poof. Things would be appearing and disappearing. So it's really good that we have this filter in the subjective mind that says, yay or nay. But the thing that really powers all of that is our emotions. And so recorded on that computer is not only the thoughts, not only the words, but the emotions as well. And so one of the things we need to work on is our words. The second thing is our emotions, our feelings. We need to cultivate the right kind of feelings. I hate to say the right thing, but it's like we want to cultivate the feelings that are going to create the world that we want to see versus the world we don't want to see, if that makes any sense. So words, actions, your deeds, and your emotions all play a part in all of that. So the first thing I want to talk about is your words, because last week I said, the 3 things that we have to stop saying to ourselves is, I can't afford it. And we switched that to, I choose not to spend my money on that. Money is hard to come by. Obviously, if money grows on trees, it's not hard to come by, because trees are made up. Paper is made of trees, right? And money is paper. So we need to change our thinking about things. Change your thinking, change your life. And so I talked about money is easy to come by last week. And there's never enough, is another one. And the truth is there's abundance in everywhere that we look, if we just focus our attention on that abundance. So that was money last week. This week, let's talk about love. How many times do you look in the mirror and say, oh my God, I look old? I'm guilty of that, because on the inside, I feel like I'm 20s, and I look in the mirror and I'm like, well, what? What happened? And so I have changed that from I look old to I look wise, right? I've had to do that. But I also, so many of us look in the mirror and say, oh, I'm so fat or I'm so ugly, right? That's really important that we don't do that. But here's the thing. If we're looking for love in the world, if we're looking to have someone love us, how are they going to love us if we don't love ourselves, right? And I'm not talking about the narcissistic, selfish way of love. I'm not talking about that. I'm talking about the way of looking at ourselves and seeing the beauty within. So One of my students, a younger student, she was a teenager, started looking in the mirror and trying to find one thing about her face that she liked. And she decided that she liked her eyes, so she started focusing on, I love my eyes, I love my eyes. And she would say that a bunch of times in front of the mirror. And I remember thinking about that in terms of, you know, if we just look ourselves in the eye like you would a lover and say, I love you. I really love you. And keep doing that, because it reinforces the idea that we are love. God flows through us all. There is no, some people have love flowing through them and some people don't. That's really not what it is. What it is if I don't love myself, I have a lot of stuff stored in that subjective mind that tells me I can't find love, or I won't be able to find the right person, or that the right person got away. The one that got away. You've heard that before. People say, oh, she's the one that got away, or he's the one that got away. All of that boils down to whether you love yourself, right? If I love myself enough, then I will attract to me those who adore me. Because here's the thing. Okay. Think about, there's a story in the Bible where Jesus is walking and this woman touches his robe. And she touches his robe because she wants to feel the power that he has. And that's the way love works too. Like, if you've ever noticed, when you're in love, the whole world is in love with you, that all of a sudden, you know, you have fallen in love and all these guys or girls or whatever are flocking to you and flirting with you and wanting to take you out on dates, right? It's because you are experiencing and expressing and just exuding love, right? And you're pretty much in love with yourself when you're newly in love with somebody, because you begin to see yourself through their eyes. So the trick is, when there isn't somebody like that, is being able to do that for yourself, to be able to fulfill that feeling in the mirror. Every day, look in the mirror, look into your own eyes and say, I love you. I really love you. Whatever else you want to say, your eyes are beautiful. You have great lips, great cheekbones, whatever you want to say, but just say, I love you. I love you so much. Instead of saying I'm fat or I'm ugly. Same thing with, you know, I'm stupid. Have you ever noticed that? Like, oh, I am so stupid when you make a mistake. No, you're not stupid. You made a mistake. There's this totally different, you know, stupid means you can't learn. All of us are capable of learning. I don't care if you have a mental disability. We're all capable of learning. So there is no stupid, right? Just like there's no stupid idea. There's no stupid question. There is no stupidity. We are not stupid. What we are, in fact, is blocking the information, right? So when I make a mistake, it's based off of old information that is not of service to me anymore. I don't know how many of you remember, I did this whole sermon on this workshop, the Barksdale Self-Esteem class, Lillian Barksdale. And one of the things he said in that thing, it was so important, was we can only do what we would rather do than not do. Okay? So what happens to us is that we fail because, not because we're stupid, not because we want to fail, but because we reach a limitation in our own mind of what is possible. And we will go towards that which we think is going to give us fulfillment, and we will run away from any kind of pain. And so we can only do that which we would rather do than not do, right? I don't know how many of you go through this, but I only clean my desk off, really like super clean my desk, once a year. And that's when the accountant says, hey, can you give me all the information for the taxes? Then I go crazy trying to find all the receipts on my desk. And so I get down and I soap I have a butcher block desk. I soap it with wood soap, and then I do oil treatment on it, do it all up nice once a year. And that's pretty much what happens to us is that I would rather not spend my time doing the desk until I absolutely have to. And there are so many things we could do about love or money or wellness that we choose not to do because for whatever reason, we don't see enough benefit for it or whatever. I don't know. I'm really bad about that. Faith is so good. She goes and works out like 2.5 hours at the gym. I, will try to make myself go to the gym here and there, but I'm not dedicated to that because the prize for it seems too far off for me. I know like that sounds awful coming from someone who teaches this stuff all the time, but it seems like the price is too much to pay for the prize being so far away. To me. That's not the truth for everybody. But I think we need to look at those kinds of decisions that we're making about what I would rather do than not do, and really understand that if we do the things that support our vision of love or our vision of wellness or our vision of prosperity and abundance, that we will then actually create a pathway through which it can come to us, right? That's much different than saying, oh, I have to win the lottery to get money. But if I'm willing to do things that make me successful in my business, if I'm willing to take the time and the energy to actually do those things, then there's a pathway for that money to come. It's not the only pathway, but it is a pathway. Same thing with love. If I am willing to put the time and energy into loving myself, to being in love with myself, remember, if I'm in love, it's like a magnet. It just attracts people to me. And so if we can put the time and energy into that self-love, then we will experience love, whether it's from someone else or it's just our own, falling in love with our own being. But really, we're just agents of God's love anyway. So it just flows through us easier when we can see it in ourselves. The second saying I want us to stop saying is, I attract all the wrong guys or girls. We attract to us that which we are ready for, that which we have cleared our consciousness about. Okay. If I've done my healing work and I really love myself and I have good self-esteem and I really value myself, then I will attract to myself those people who will reflect that healing. Because right now, if I'm unhealed and I really feel like I don't deserve love, or I feel like, because of the patterns in my life, something bad is going to happen because that's been the pattern of my life. If I'm caught up in that, then there's no way I'm going to attract someone to me that is a healed person. Well, we're not all 100% healed all the time anyway. I mean, I work on it constantly. I've been working on it my whole life. I don't like to be the kind of person that sits up here and says, I'm perfect, because I'm not. I'm far from perfect. But I'm always working on healing myself because I want situations to be attracted to me that reflect that self-love. So things like taking bubble baths, or if bubble baths aren't your thing, go to the gym. If gym isn't your thing, go sit on your porch and be in nature. If that's not your thing, find what is your thing that makes you feel better about yourself. What is it that allows you to feel joy and calm and peace and happiness? That's the thing you want to start doing, because that is true self-love. When we nurture ourselves, it's so easy to nurture others, isn't it? It's so easy to hold someone's hand and say, everything's going to be all right. In our own mind about our own life, we're going, oh, it'll never be the same. Everything's awful, right? We need to learn to hold our own hand and say, everything's going to be all right. In the Bible, it didn't say, yea, though I walk through the valley of the shadow of death and pitch a tent there. It says, yea, though I walk through the valley of the shadow of death, I will fear no evil, because you're passing through this shadow, the valley of the shadow, the valley of, yea, though I walk through the valley of the, whatever it is. When I walk through the valley, I don't pitch a tent there. That's the point. And so we need to learn to treat ourselves like we would have others treat us, right? Treat others like you would want them to treat you. How about ourselves? Treat ourselves the way we would want to be treated, right? Not the way we are accustomed to being treated, but the way. Oh, I put Joey's puppies to sleep. every Sunday. They're like Tasmanian devils, and every Sunday they listen to my sermons and they go to sleep. That's so funny. But truthfully, we need to treat ourselves like we want others to treat us. And that creates a pathway through which that love can flow. Because now I'm in love with myself, so now everyone is in love with me. I can remember, I think it might have even been Tony Robbins, one of these authors that goes around and lecturing, once said that they had to reach a point where they saw their own value and realized their own value before they could draw the crowds to themselves. And so, that's what I want us to do this week. I want us to really fall in love with ourselves. Okay. Look in the mirror. Tell yourself how much you love yourself. Go out into the world and see where love is. You know, allow yourself to pamper yourself, whatever that is, massages, bubble baths, walks in nature, whatever it is that brings you joy and happiness, do that. Because that's the best way I know to bring love into your life. And I'm not even just talking about guys and girls, you know, guys, women and men. I'm talking about love, you know, animal love even. Like, you know, Joy has these puppies and they provide love. I have, you know, I tried to get her out, by the way. Chica does not want to make her debut yet. She was in her little bed and she looked at me and went, nope, not coming out. One of these days she'll appear on camera. We'll see. Well, let's talk about wellness for a minute because, you know, having been diagnosed with Hashimoto's, I do have some limitations and I recognize those limitations. But I don't focus all of my attention on them because when I focus my attention on those limitations, I just feel more limitation, right? I feel like I can't do anything. Oh my God, she just sent me a picture. I don't have any way to download that or I would show it to you. She sent me a picture of how the puppies are like, you know, in Waland. But if I lived my life only focusing on those limitations, I would have no hope for one thing. For another thing, I wouldn't do anything. But there's a couple of things that we need to stop saying to ourselves. One is, I'm sick and tired. You know, the biggest affirmation you can do, the greatest, most powerful affirmation you can do is, I am. When God was speaking to Moses as the burning bush, he said, who should I say sent me? And the bush said, tell them that I am sent you. So when you're claiming something, when you're saying I am, you are claiming in the most powerful affirmation possible. Sick and tired is not good. If you say I am sick, then you're going to be sick. If I say I'm tired all the time, I'm going to be tired all the time. I suffer with that myself. Like, oh, I'm so exhausted. And then I have to really look at that and say, no, I have plenty of energy, right? Whether it's a lie or not, the subjective mind doesn't know the difference between fact and fiction. Just go to a movie sometime that's sad and sit there and cry over the movie, realizing that it's fiction and yet you're crying. That's all you need to do to convince yourself that the subjective mind knows nothing about fact or fiction. It only knows what is so, or what you say is so. So if I say I'm sick and tired, guess what? I am sick and tired, right? Another one is I have only so much energy, right? I'm guilty of that one. And really, we have all the energy in the universe available to us, right? What are we? We are made of God. We are made of the same, God made cells of itself, and that's who we are. So we have all the energy of the universe available to us if we would only allow that to be true. I had to laugh because I was remembering I have an try new things. I also have an autoimmune issue and focus on the opportunity to try new things. That's what Faith said. That's very good. Exactly. It allows us to look at different ways of being. Like, I know that Faith has been challenged with a certain a certain way of eating because she has the same autoimmune disease I have. And so glutens are an issue, dairy is an issue, whatever. And at first, both of us were like, I don't want to eat that way. But now we have found so many places that serve gluten-free, dairy-free baked goods that we have an opportunity to focus on food that is yummy, that also supports our health. So thank you for that, Faith. Yeah. But I had to laugh because I was remembering when I was a little kid, and I went to camp in Elizabeth. Back then, Elizabeth wasn't a town; it was farmlands only. And I went to the JCC Ranch out there, and we had this guy that we were learning to I can't talk. We were learning to ride horses, and we had this guy that was teaching us all of that. Shorty was his name. And somebody said, I can't. And oh my God, you would have thought that the heavens opened up on that person. What do you mean you can't? You don't know if you can until you try. And he went on and on and on and on. And I had to laugh about it because I thought about how many times we say, I can't do that. I mean, like, seriously, if somebody said, get on a raft to go down the rapids, I would probably say, no, I can't. Elbert, Colorado, JCC Ranch. Oh, Elbert. Yeah, that's right. It was Elbert, not Elizabeth. And so there are things that I choose not to do, but it's not that I can't. I can. I absolutely can. Anytime you catch yourself saying, I can't, remember that you can. But it's the same thing as saying, I don't have the money. I choose not to spend my money on that. I choose not to do that, right? It's not that I can't, it's that I choose not to. And the last one is when you have a disease, like Faith and I do, this disease has power over me. Somehow or other, we get the idea, and maybe it's not even words at that point, it's just a thought, that somehow this disease has some kind of power over us. And we need to change that because God is what we are. It is who and what we are. Our very life, our every essence, our very being is God, right? So what has power over God? Absolutely nothing, right? So that disease has no power over you because you're made in the image and likeness. You're made of the actual cells of God. Every molecule in your body is God operating in you, through you, as you. And so this week, can you work with that on me? Work on that with me? Oh my goodness, I don't know what's going on here. Can you work with that with me on that? To stop saying these things. I'm fat, I'm ugly, I'm old, I'm stupid, I attract all the wrong people. All guys and girls are narcissists. I'm sick and tired. I only have so much energy. I can't. This disease has power over me. Any of those words, can you stop? Just pay attention. And when you hear those words, do the shift on them and declare the opposite for yourself. So you can have the love. You can attract the love that you want to see in your life so that you can have the wellness in your life that your spiritual DNA actually is more powerful in your body than any of these conditions that you're experiencing. Will you work with me on that this week? Let's have a prayer. Maybe I can pray better than I can talk. Oh goodness. I right now just tune into that infinite power, that infinite presence of God, to that place within me that knows beyond human understanding just how powerful God is. How much love God is. For God is all there ever has been, all there ever will be, all there is right here, right now, in this moment. And so that is where I find myself. In the midst of God, my very essence, my very life, my very being. It is who and what I am. And every thought, every action, every deed is guided and led by that ancient wisdom of the ages that flows through me. That is God flowing through me. That is the truth about me. I know that same truth for this team, this wonderful team that God has lent me. Because I do know that made in the image and likeness of God, each one of them flows in life with God flowing through them to accomplish all that needs to be done by them. And the ancient wisdom of the ages flows through them very powerfully into every thought, deed, or action, feeling, or emotion. I know the same truth to be so for everyone who is watching, whether that be in real time or later on. For there is no place where one leaves off and the other begins. We are all connected by it, through it, as it. Mitakuye-oyasin. We are all one. All my brethren, we are connected. So I bless this coming week because I do know that all of the self-talk that we have been doing all of our lives is now apparent to us and gives us the opportunity now to experience a different way. That as we change our languaging to that which is positive and nurturing for ourselves, we notice that love and abundance and health become our reality. That all that appears to be the opposite just dissolves back into the nothingness from which it came. And instead we create a reality that we have been cultivating, that we have been wanting, now appears in this physical reality as a result of our efforts this week. So I bless this week with that. I bless every name that is in the ministry of prayer, because I know whatever condition they are experiencing, God has more power. That underneath all of that is the infinite wisdom, the infinite health, the infinite love, the infinite prosperity, the infinite abundance of God. And so I call it forth. I pull back the veil. I call it forth. I claim it in their name as good and very good. I celebrate and give thanks that it is so. And I just let it be. And so it is. Amen. I feel like I'm bitter now. We'll see. Right now is our opportunity to receive your gifts, tithes, and offerings, and your opportunity to express your gratitude for that which you have already received and that which you have created in the mind of God but may not have experienced in the physical realm yet. So in a minute, I'm going to ask you to go to www.oasiscsl.org. And about 2/3 down the page, there is an offering affirmation I'm going to have you say with me. And then underneath that is the Contribute Now button. So I want to say a little bit right now about what you're contributing to, because we don't have a facility. So you're not paying rent and utilities, and you're not doing that. And this isn't about minister salaries or anybody else's salary for that matter. This is totally about creating a pathway for God's message to reach out and touch the world. And by world, I mean globally. We already have people in the UK and Germany and the Netherlands who tune in. But I would like to see us uplift and inspire the entire world, for God's message to come through us, to be able to touch those lives everywhere in the world and anyone who needs it. So that's what you're contributing to, is that vision of touching and inspiring and uplifting people's lives everywhere. Go with me now, if you will, to www.oasiscsl.org. And 2/3 down the page, please say this offering affirmation with me. Doesn't matter whether you're watching in real time or later on. You can do this with me right now. This perfect gift is spirit and form, circulating and blessing all it touches. Freely I give and joyously I receive, and so it is. All right. Hit that contribute now button and help us assist us. Let's do it that way. Assist us in reaching out globally and touching and inspiring and uplifting lives everywhere. Okay. We have this wonderful team of licensed practitioners that we call our God Squad. They're the healing arm of the church. And they are from coast to coast. We have someone in Minnesota. We have someone in Wisconsin right now. He'll be in Florida later. We have someone in California. We have someone here in Colorado. And so I love saying that we have them coast to coast, from Florida to Minnesota to California. I just think that's awesome. Anyway, they are our God Squad, and they are responsible for not only spiritual guidance, but for prayer. So if you would like to have prayer for something this week, I'm sorry, I don't know. I got this tickle in my throat. It does not seem to want to go away. It's a dry tickle. And the water doesn't seem to be helping at all. Anyway, if you would like prayer for something, go to the comment section and type in what you want prayer for. If you don't want it to be public, you can always DM Faith or myself and let us know what you would like prayer for. And she will add you to our private facing group page for Facebook. That is our God Squad page, and only the God Squad can see it. And so if you would like to have prayer, do that. If you would like to be part of our God Squad team just for that purpose, not for spiritual guidance, but just to pray with someone, or to pray on these prayer requests, I should say. If you're willing to do affirmative prayer, no beseeching, no asking, if you are willing to do it every day for a week, and you are willing to keep those prayer requests confidential, meaning you don't even tell your spouse about them or your children, nobody, then put yes in the comment section, and Faith will add you as a God Squad member to that private Facebook page. If you would like to be part of our online community, you would just type more in the comment field, and Faith will add you to our public facing group page on Facebook. We post everything that's going on in the church there before we post it anywhere else. So, all right. So, what we have, let's see. Our licensed practitioners are available by appointment for a fee for spiritual guidance. So you would reach out to them, let them know. They will tell you how to pay for them, pay for this session, either through PayPal, Cash App, Venmo, Wise. I don't know. There's probably other ones out there. Each practitioner does their own thing. I know what it is. It's this fan. I have this fan aimed right at my face because it's so hot in my house. I still don't have air conditioning. I just realized it's a fan that's blowing right in my nose. It's causing me to cough. Anyway, reach out to the practitioner. Let them know you would like to have some spiritual guidance. They'll set an appointment with you. They'll arrange for payment, and then they'll reach out to you through video chat when your appointment time is. Oz is available for what we call our 1-minute miracle after the service. It's not a time for counseling, but it is a time where you can share with him whatever condition you're experiencing, and he will stop, drop, and pray with you right then and there. And you get to him through video chat. If you don't get to him right away, it means he's on the phone with someone else, and you can try back in a little while. All right, we went through all that. Okay. The first we have is Brooks and Bailey. We love to support those who support us. So Brooks and Bailey, all the proceeds go to Rocky Mountain Lab Rescue. You get a hold of them through Brooks and Bailey 0307. at gmail.com. They also have a Facebook page. They make these wonderful mala bead necklaces and bracelets. The mala beads have 108, I believe, beads on them. The Hindus and the Buddhists use that, you count off all of your chants by going through the beads. I suggest you use them for affirmations because, 108 of them gives you 100 affirmations at a time, right? Or you can get the bracelets, which are 54 beads, I believe, and then you just do that twice every day, right? So this one is amethyst. It's $60. They have everything from like $30 on up, depending on what gem you want. But also they are available on Facebook. And whenever they do an event, I usually repost it. So just so you know, that's who they are. All right, Faith.
And please check out the Mystic Brew. You can order through Instagram and Facebook. Just DM us. The website, unfortunately, no longer is working. We have intention jars to help you manifest whatever you are currently working on, as well as kits to build your own, as well as bath salts that serve the same purpose. So please check us out and follow us on Instagram and Facebook for any upcoming events.
Perfect. Thank you. And then we have an adjunct to that. Angel Renee has an Etsy store where she has intention candles and a tea bag that you put in your bath. Has all kinds of really wonderful aromas that help you focus on your intention. Like I said, she has an Etsy store, and all of the information is in our comments. Sorry. Oh gosh. And then we couldn't do this without Elaine Silver and Karen Drucker, who have provided our karaoke files for us to be able to do music. So first, let's start with Reverend Fairy Elaine Silver's website. On hers, you can figure out which CD you want, and then you contact her by email. For some reason, she can't update her website, and so she can't let you know how to pay her. So if you contact her by email, she will let you know how to make payment. She travels all around the country singing, and she has those CDs in her trunk. So then she will send them from wherever location she's at. So definitely support her music. She is a religious science, or no, she's a unity minister, but she's a religious science practitioner. So almost all of her songs reflect our philosophy. And then we have Karen Drucker's website, which she does have. You can pay for the songs there. You can buy it by the song, by the CD, by the songbook, however you like. And you can pay for it right then and there. Today's music came off of Songs of Spirit 3. If you liked that chant, that's a really good one to get stuck as a meme in your head. I am gentle with myself. And then check out our website at www.oasiscsl.org. There we have video sermons from the last 3 years, audio sermons from the years prior. Also check us out on YouTube and SoundCloud. YouTube has the videos from the last 3 years, and SoundCloud has the audio files from the years prior under S. Tucker. All right. And that being said, here is our closing song.
I am so blessed. I am so blessed. I am so grateful for all that I have. I am so blessed. I am so blessed. I am so grateful. I am so blessed. I am so blessed. I am so blessed. I am so grateful for all that I have. I am so blessed. I am so blessed. I am so grateful. I am so blessed. I am so blessed. I am so blessed. I am so grateful for all that I have. I am so blessed. I am so blessed. grateful. I am so blessed. I am so blessed. I am so blessed. I am so grateful for all that I have. I am so blessed. I am so blessed. I am so grateful. I am so blessed. I am so blessed. I am so blessed. I am so grateful for all that I have. I am so blessed. I am so blessed. I am so grateful. I am so blessed.
I know that the blessings of God manifest in our lives every day, every moment, every hour. I know that these blessings continue for you and for me through this week, and I allow the blessings to shower down. And I know this is good and very good, and I let it be so, and so it is.
And so it is.
That's what it is.
Thank you for being here, everyone. You could be doing on a Sunday morning, and you're here with us. This is my little Chica. She is being a little shy, does not want to be on camera, apparently. This is the newest addition to our family. So from all of us to all of you, stay safe, wear a mask. We love you. See you next week, 10:30 a.m. Mountain Time, and every week. Bye for now. We love you.